Okay, now let's talk about Elon Musk, because that person apparently just cannot stay out of stupid fucking shit posting. So he posted on October 3rd, 2022. Let's try this then. The will of the people who live in the Donbass and Crimea should decide whether they are part of Russia or Ukraine. Once again, the premise is absolutely fucking brain dead. And yes, 60% of people voted yes, which was more than 2.5 million votes, by the way. So a lot of his, so more than 1 million, what? More than 1,200,000 people are brain dead of his audience, absolutely brain dead. That's like saying, um, let people of whatever California, of Texas, to decide whether they should be a part of United States or not. These decisions are not made by fucking states themselves. This decision is made by the country. Will the country allow you to succeed, basically, to be your own independent state or not? That's not like you buy. If I in my house today or tomorrow will decide that I am no longer a part of Belarus, it would mean sweet fuck all with it. Exactly. um and Paul Massaro, thankfully there are smart people who immediately came into comment section and say, let's try this then. Russia leaves Ukraine immediately, pays for reparations, decolonizes, demilitarizes, and denuclearizes. Yeah. And then, of course, the fucking morons who just can't, like, oh, America bad, US military interventions worldwide, blah, blah, blah. They can't understand that two wrongs don't make one good thing. And this is talk about Ukraine and woeful misunderstanding, absolutely woeful ignorance of Musk about the fucking situation. Sometimes it's better to fucking stay shut your mouth and don't fucking say anything. Ukraine, Russia, peace. Bam, bam, bam. Next fucking tweet. Redo elections of the next regions under United Nations supervision. Russia leaves if that is will of people. Crimea, formerly part of Russia as it has been since 1783 until Khrushchev's mistake. So this moron, like, I had some respect to this guy for SpaceX, for Tesla. PayPal he founded with other people. Well, not PayPal, but precursor to PayPal, whatever. Sometimes he seems like a smart guy. Sometimes he feels and looks and is an absolutely brain dead fucking moron. Water supply to Crimea, sure. Ukraine remains neutral. No, this time 60% of people voted no to this. So, which is really interesting, right? Like, by this extension, it should have been 60% of people who votes for that should have voted exactly how they've done the previous one. So whatever. But yeah, and once again, Paul Massara actually saying the correct thing. Ukraine, Russia, peace. Ukraine liberates all its sovereign territory. Russia decolonizes, demilitarizes, and denuclearizes. Exactly. Yeah. Which is really interesting. Keith Post said, Elon, you're a cool guy, and thanks for Starlink, but it would be so very wonderful if you were to carry out votes on things that you know about. We don't carry out votes on apartheid and Nelson Mandela. This is exactly the fucking truth. Stay in your fucking line, you cretin. Because by doing this kind of fucking shit, you're just exposing yourself as a fucking moron. Even to me, who kind of admired you for certain things, again, Starlink, Tesla, whatever, SpaceX. But this is like don't, if you don't understand it, like, either stop fucking watching Russia Today and start actually reading and understanding fucking news, like the correct things, or yeah, just fuck off. Why the fuck are you talking about Crimea 1883? Why don't you go to Mongol conquest? Why don't you fucking talk about Crimean basically Tatars who owned the fucking land from 1443 to 1783. Why do we stop at Russian Empire? Why not to give Crimean Tatars back Crimea? Ottoman Empire. Why not? Like, just because Russia still exists and sort of the Ottoman Empire does not exist, it means that you only go to that fucking part? Why not to give Crimea back to Greek or Romans who actually like uncovered it and populated it first? Like, what the fuck is this shit? I just don't understand how you can be simultaneously. I'm assuming you need to be pretty fucking smart to at least like gather enough people around you to actually build things like Tesla and, like I'm saying, all this fucking cool shit that he's done. So how can you be simultaneously so smart and so fucking stupid? I do not get it. I don't understand this. But like I'm saying, why go back to Russian Empire? Why not to Crimean Khanate, Mongol fucking time, or medieval history? So yeah, fuck him for this take for sure. Okay,